I live in a neighborhood you don't read about unless something awful happens. A forgotten patch of city held together by cracked concrete and desperation. People don't come here unless they have to, and even then they don't linger. The alley's been there forever, wedged between two buildings like a scar nobody remembers getting. It's where broken things go to be forgotten. Moldy couches, rusting bikes, bags of trash that spill their secrets to the wind. And yet, I'd never really looked at it before. Not until that night. I was coming home from work. Same route as always. My feet carried me without thought, muscle memory guiding each step. The streetlights buzzed above me, flickering like dying fireflies. It was cold, the kind of chill that seeps through your coat and settles in your bones. I passed the alley like I always did, but this time, something tugged at my attention. Someone was standing in it. A man, about 100 feet down, half hidden in shadow. Still. Too still. He wasn't rifling through trash or looking for a place to sleep, just standing there, facing away from me. I stopped, took a step back, squinted. Layers of clothes hung off him like wet drapes, stained and fraying. I couldn't make out his face, just the suggestion of a head tilted slightly downward, motionless. "Hey, you okay?" I called out. No answer. He didn't move, not even a twitch. I waited, 10 seconds, 20. Still nothing. The rational part of me said to keep walking. It's a city. Strange people in stranger places aren't anything new. But something about this felt wrong. Like I was looking at a photograph, not a person. Like he wasn't really there at all. I took a shaky breath and turned away. Walked the rest of the way to my house, 2 doors down. My key fumbled in the lock longer than it should have. Once inside, I locked the door, bolted it, chain too. Then, impulse. I went to the front window and looked back. He was still there. Only now, he was facing me. I couldn't see his eyes, but I knew he was looking straight at my window, straight at me. I pulled the curtains shut and stepped back. My heart was hammering. I told myself I was being dramatic, told myself it was just some guy standing in an alley, not uncommon, not dangerous. But I couldn't sit still. I turned off all the lights except for the one by the chair in my front room, the one near the window. I sat down, just enough to peek out between the curtains. Still there. He hadn't moved. I checked the time. 10:41 p.m. I must have watched him for half an hour. No movement, no shifting of weight, no nervous tics. Just there. Eventually, exhaustion caught up with me. My body started to relax, despite itself. The hum of the refrigerator, the soft breath of my dog curled at my feet, it all lulled me into a false sense of normalcy. I think I dozed off. When I opened my eyes, the room was dark. The lamp had switched off on its timer. I blinked, confused, disoriented. Then I heard it. Thud. A dull, heavy sound from upstairs. My stomach dropped. I glanced at the window instinctively, pulled the curtain back a sliver. The alley was empty. The man was gone. I sat back slowly, my ears strained against the silence. Maybe it was the house settling. Old buildings make noise. That's normal. Another thud, but not a thud this time. A creak, like a footstep. My mind scrambled for a rational explanation. Maybe my dog had gone upstairs. I looked down. He was still at my feet, curled up and snoring softly. The air left my lungs all at once. Another slow, deliberate creak echoed above me. I didn't move, didn't blink. The sound came again, closer to the top of the stairs now. I stared at the ceiling, and suddenly the house felt wrong. Like the walls had shifted, like I wasn't alone anymore. I knew I had to do something. With each step, the air grew heavier, thick with unspoken fears. I could hear my own heartbeat, echoing in the silence like a drum calling me forward. The house was quiet now, but I could feel something watching. Every instinct screamed at me to turn back, but curiosity drove me forward. I forced myself to move forward, each step echoing like a heartbeat in the silence. The silence felt thick, suffocating, as if the very walls were holding their breath. I could feel my pulse quickening as dread settled deep in my bones. What was standing there felt like more than just a man. It was a presence, something far darker. I could hear my breath coming in shallow gasps, each exhale echoing in the stillness. It felt like time had stopped, the air thick with anticipation as I fought against the urge to scream. Every nerve in my body told me to turn back, but I couldn't look away. I felt like I was standing on the edge of a precipice, ready to plunge into the unknown. Something primal inside me screamed to run, but curiosity rooted me in place. It felt like the darkness itself was alive, breathing, waiting for my next move. I knew in that moment, whatever this was, it wasn't just a figment of my imagination. It was a nightmare made flesh, and I was caught in its gaze. Every instinct urged me to turn and run, yet a strange compulsion held me there. I felt the air grow colder, a shivering chill wrapping around me like a cloak. In that heartbeat, the world fell away, leaving only us in this suffocating silence. I could feel the weight of its gaze, heavy and suffocating, urging me to make a choice. I teetered on the edge, caught between the pull of curiosity and the instinct to flee. The next sound wasn't just another creak. It was a dragging noise, slow, gritty, like something being pulled across the floor upstairs. Then silence. I didn't breathe. My dog lifted his head, ears perked. He stared up at the ceiling too. A low growl started in his throat, soft but primal. I stood slowly from the chair, the floor groaning under my feet. I stepped back, eyes locked on the stairwell. The upstairs hallway was cloaked in black, the shadows too thick, too still. Then I saw it, a figure at the top of the stairs, backlit by the faint moonlight coming through the hall window, not moving. At first I thought it was just standing there, but no, it was leaning, tilting in a way that defied balance, like its center of gravity had shifted somewhere unnatural. Arms hung too low, head cocked unnaturally far to the left, as if the neck had given up. I couldn't make out a face, just the shape. Tall, ragged, wrong. Then it moved. Not a step, a glide, silent, smooth. It descended the stairs like it didn't need to touch them, like gravity didn't apply. One moment it was there, then 2 steps lower, then 4, then... I ran. I didn't think, didn't check if the door was still locked, just ran. My shoulder slammed into it, twisting the knob with shaking fingers. It was unlocked. I burst onto the porch, cold air hitting me like a slap. My bare feet hit concrete, then pavement. I ran toward the streetlight, toward anything, but something stopped me. Not physically, something deeper, a realization that hit like a second slap. This is what it wanted. I froze in the middle of the street. My breath plumed in the cold air. My dog was barking from inside now. Loud, feral, terrified. I turned slowly. The house was dark. Still, the front door stood open, swaying just slightly in the wind. But the figure wasn't there. Not in the doorway. Not at the window. Gone. And yet, I felt eyes on me. Not from one direction. From everywhere. The alley. The rooftops. The spaces between flickering street lamps. Something had been let in, and I'd let it out. I backed away slowly, not taking my eyes off the house. I didn't want to go back in, but I couldn't leave my dog. I stepped onto the sidewalk, one foot on the bottom step. Then I heard it again. A sound I still don't have words for. Wet. Clicking. Like bones rearranging themselves too fast. Like something trying to remember how to be human. Then footsteps. But not from inside the house. Behind me, I spun. Nothing. Empty street. Silent. Not even wind. But I could feel it. Close. Watching. I turned back toward the house. The door was now closed. My heart nearly stopped. I never shut it. I never even touched it. The porch light buzzed, then flickered, then died. Everything went dark. I backed away slowly. My eyes strained to adjust. I reached into my pocket for my phone, but it was gone. Left inside on the table. Something shifted in the darkness just beyond the porch. A whisper. Not words, just breath. It came from inside my head and just outside my ear at the same time. I turned and ran again, this time not stopping. Down the block, around the corner, toward the one convenience store that stayed open all night. I didn't stop running until I was under its fluorescent lights, hands on my knees, gasping. When I finally looked back toward my street, I saw nothing. No figure, no movement, but the fear stayed with me. I never went back to that house, not to live anyway. I told the police someone broke in, that I was chased. They found the door shut, no signs of forced entry, no prints, nothing. But my dog was gone. No trace. Sometimes, when the wind cuts just right, I still hear his growl in my dreams. I moved across the city, started over, but every night before I sleep, I check the windows. I leave lights on in every room. I keep the TV playing static so I can hear everything. Because sometimes, I still hear the dragging sound. Sometimes, I wake up with the feeling that something is leaning over me, breathing my name with a mouth it didn't used to have. I haven't seen the man again, but I think that's the point. The lingering fear remains, like a shadow in my mind, reminding me of what I left behind. Every creak of the floorboards, every whisper of the wind reminds me that sometimes we aren't alone. As I move forward into the night, I feel it again, the weight of unseen eyes upon me. I can't shake the feeling that something is still out there, waiting for its moment. The darkness feels alive, teeming with potential danger. With every step I take, the air thickens and the night seems to hold its breath. Yet I can't turn back now. The need to confront my fears drives me deeper into the unknown, even as the shadows whisper my name. Each rustle and creak makes my heart race as I push through the thicket. I find myself in a clearing where the air feels even heavier, charged with a palpable dread. In that moment, I know I'm not alone. The energy in the air shifts, and I can feel it, a presence lingering just beyond the veil of darkness, waiting. I take a deep breath, grounding myself in the reality of my situation. I will not be another victim, another tale lost to the dark. With every ounce of courage, I stand my ground. As the dark figure inches closer, I can hear the faint sound of my own heartbeat overwhelming the silence. Then it lunges, a blur of darkness rushing towards me, defying everything I thought was possible. I swing my makeshift weapon blindly, fueled by adrenaline and fear.